Good morning. My name is Kemp Satchel, better known as Mr. Motivator with the Creators of Wealth, where we are here this morning on a Saturday in our masterclass training every single Saturday, 11 a.m., where we're here to serve you, teach you how to build your business, show you some things, help you market your business, and actually educate you to the point that you can actually build your business. So without further ado, today we're talking about taxes. We simply have Mr. Richard Borough here, who is going to serve us on today. And this call has been recorded for your listening pleasure. Again, get yourself a piece of paper, get prepared to hear what he has to say, because I promise you the information that you hear today literally can generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for you, and not only you, but for your legacy and all of those around you. So without further ado, Mr. Rich Burrow, welcome.
Well, thank you, and good morning, everyone. I love educating people. I love helping people. That's where I get my own self-satisfaction. And so anytime I have an opportunity to get in front of people and share my knowledge with about taxes as they deal with a home-based business industry, I'm happy and thrilled to do it. A little bit about my background. I'm a certified public accountant, or a CPA. Actually, this month is my anniversary. I've been doing this for 31 years.
Wow.
Focused solely on small business and home-based businesses. Now, probably about 25 of those years was also spent as a governmental auditor. So I understand the audit side of things and what they're looking for. So as I'm doing tax returns, I'm trying to make sure we're maximizing our deductions. You know, everybody wants to pay as little taxes as they legally have to. But at the same time, I'm looking for audit flags, possible audit flags. We don't want to get anybody audited and in trouble. Now you can be audited for any reason, but we want to keep those flags down. We want to make sure you're properly documented and got everything taken care of there. My clientele, I live in a small rural area high in the Rocky Mountains in Wyoming. I like the outdoors. I love the mountains, and with my practice the way that it is, my clients are scattered around the country, and all I need is internet access and a cell phone, and I can do business anywhere. And that's what I like about the home-based business industry. Y'all can do that. You're not necessarily glued to a brick and mortar building or a W-2 job. You have some freedom to do some different things. And a lot of this is generated by the tax deductions. I want to emphasize, having a home-based business is not about getting big refunds. That's nice, especially in your earlier years. You can get those refunds and reinvest back in your business. But I really try to get my clients to focus on making money. Okay, my clients, I have clients make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I have clients make $100,000 a month, and that's great. The vast majority of my clients, though, are the everyday people, the ones coming up through the ranks. We try to educate them. I say you get good people like Coach, like Mr. Satchel, and they're going to teach you to be a good CEO of your business. What does a CEO do? Well, they make money. They're in charge of making money. Then I like to come in and I can act as your CFO, your Chief Financial Officer. What do? They help you keep your money. So we're going to make sure you get your deductions are properly documented so you keep them. And yeah, I love taxes for the home-based business industry. It's very gratifying for me. I like to get a close knowledge of my clients. I like to know them intimately so I can help them actually, run their business as well as help them save on their taxes. Now, all that being said, the things I'm talking about today, I'm going to talk about general rules, okay? Now, how those general rules affect each individual person might change. Some might be applicable to you, some may not be applicable to you, okay? So you need to find a good tax advisor that knows what they're doing, and they can guide you through those if these apply to you or not. Now, also, the rules I'm going to be talking about are applicable to what's called sole proprietors. The sole proprietorship, that's the vast majority of people in home-based businesses in the direct selling industry are sole proprietors. However, a lot of my clients, as you mature and make more money, you may want to be in a different type of an entity, such as an S corporation or something like that. And so they do have a little bit different set of rules. So that's kind of the disclaimer, especially like you said, it's going to be recorded. So I need to let people know that what we're talking about probably will apply to them, but how it applies to them, or if it does, they need to get some good professional help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to find. It's hard to know who the real experts are. You need to find somebody that's done taxes in the home-based business industry for multiple years and focuses on it. Okay, I have a very good friend, a doctor, a medical doctor. I go to him for all my daily stuff. I've had a cold lately. I apologize, my throat's a little bit scratchy. I'm still getting over that. And I go to him for allergies, for things like that. If I need brain surgery, I'm not going to him, and he knows that. And lots of times when you have a specialized tax industry like the network marketing industry, home-based business industry, you need somebody that specializes in that to help you. As a CPA, you know, we have to have a minimum of 40 hours of continuing education every year. I have to sit in class and learn these things. I have partners. We bounce ideas off of each other. So even after 30 years, I still have to keep on top of things and keep up with that training.
So hold on for a minute. Hold on, Rich. So I had to stop you there because you saying some stuff so important, and I really want you to emphasize on this a little bit. You just said you won't go to the gentleman, your doctor that deals with your allergies for your brain.
That's right.
So a lot of people that employees go to get their taxes done, people are going and using their business and going to these same folks like Jackson Hewlett, whoever he is, H&R Block, or a lot of us would even go to Aunt Mabel down the street and have her. Now she ain't going to. Now you say you go to 40 hours worth of training every year ongoing because obviously laws and things are changed all the time. So at the end of the day, my aunt didn't sit in on that class, but she's still now doing taxes. Can you help us there for a minute why they need to do what you just said as far as a tax professional?
Yes, yes. You know, a lot of people do their own taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these tax programs, TurboTax programs like that, they are not tax experts. Okay. And I picked up a client several years ago. He used, I won't mention their name, but it's a program really, really similar to TurboTax. He says, hey, it's easy. You just ask me the questions, I answer the questions. The problem is he answered them wrong. The reason he came to me is he was being audited for the last 3 years, and the IRS has given him a bill of over $70,000, okay, in taxes and penalties and interest. And there's really nothing we could do. We went through and we did we amended those returns and saved him several $1,000, but compared to the $70,000 he's getting billed for, it was a drop in the bucket. But he had done his own taxes. He thought he was being conservative. You know, he was preaching, hey, these are tax savings. There's great tax savings, but don't get too far off. He thought he was being conservative and wound up just answering the questions wrong. You know, and Aunt Mabel, she might be a good person, bless her heart, but where is she getting her tax training from? You know, there's good information and there's bad information out there. And even the people like the Jackson Hewitts, the H&R Block, they're very good for their niche. They're more like the doctor I was talking to you about. If you got your W-2 income, maybe you itemize deductions for your for home mortgage interest and things like that, they can do you a good job. But they're fast. And a lot of CPA firms are this way. Give me the information, get a tax return, and get it out. Okay. And so if you go to somebody that's really has your best interest in mind, they're going to spend more time on your tax return, making sure you're getting those deductions. They're not just taking your information, putting it in the forms and printing it out and moving on to the next one. That's an advantage that I have, is I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have to answer to a boss on how profitable I am. Yes, I do have partners, but we each do our own thing. We're not accountable to each other for finances. Yeah, very, very important to have that expertise there, like the brain surgery. I'm not going to try to perform brain surgery on myself. I'm going to go to an expert. And Aunt Mabel and you know, like I said, I've been doing it for 30 years. I do hundreds of tax returns every year. I still have to get that continuing education every year. And I still have partners because sometimes some things will come up even after all that experience. We'll hash back and forth in the firm, within the tax practice.
Wow. Okay. So we got that one. So now here we go. We got a lot of new people on here. In our business, our CEO provides us with a deductor because we know the importance of the organization of your documentation when they come see you, which this has really helped. And a lot of people, first and foremost, when they get started, they automatically say, Rich, I do not file my taxes because I did not get a 1099, simply because they did not make any money or very little money to the $500 that you need in order for that 1099 for our company to generate it and send to them. Can you help them understand this a little bit?
Yes, yes. I'm going to break that into two parts. One, the deductor, okay, and the other one addressing the issue that, oh, I didn't make very much money, so I'm not going to file my taxes. Okay, that's the reason why you do need to file your taxes. Okay, so let's say I made $200 from my company. Okay, well, you may have spent $10,000 to make that 200. In your first years, you're getting things, you're learning the ropes. A lot of people, when they first start this industry, they have their own program. Instead of listening to their leaders, they try to do their own thing, which doesn't work out. For whatever reasons, they don't make very much money, maybe their first year, and they only made $200. Well, you want to claim all those deductions because that's what's going to give you the bigger refund back. So how it works is, let's say I have a W-2 that I made $40,000. And I had my business that I made $200, but I spent $10,000. All the deductions that are out there, mileage on your vehicle, travel, meals, supplies, your computers, your desk, all those deductions that you have out there, you might show a tax loss of $10,000. Well, that reduces your $40,000 W-2. So instead of paying taxes based on your $40,000, you're paying taxes based on your $30,000. That's what generates that refund. Take that refund and reinvest it back into your business. People need to know the vast majority of people are not going to have a huge profit their first few months of business. You hear the stories, some people do that, and congratulations to them. But so no, I do get that a lot. That is a huge concern out there. I'm not going to worry about filing my taxes because I didn't make very much money. No, that's why you should be filing your taxes, to get some of your tax dollars back. Okay, I hope people understand that. Now, as far as deductor, it doesn't matter. You can go to people like me, say, what's deductible? What can I deduct? It doesn't matter if you know what you can deduct if it doesn't get on your tax return. You've got to have programs like Deductor. With Deductor, that's how you make sure all those deductions are getting onto your tax return. You link it to your bank accounts, credit card, whatever you use to pay your business bills. Now you know you're getting all those deductions. Okay? Now you take a picture of your receipt. That's if you're ever audited, the IRS wants to see a picture of your receipt. No, your credit card statement or your bank statement is not good enough showing you bought something at Staples. The IRS wants to know what you bought at Staples. You got to have a picture of that receipt. They'll track your mileage for you. For 30 years, giving clients to keep a mileage log has been probably my number one problem. Now with programs like Deductor, you turn on your mileage tracking and you got the mileage log, put in there where you went, what business purpose it was. So programs like Deductor are vital. That's your little bookkeeping system. Now, like any great tool, it only works if you use it. So as I've recommended programs, Deductor and other programs like that in the past, I'll find I still get that proverbial shoebox at the end of the year. It's just an electronic one, but vital. You got to be using that Deductor to track those expenses. That's what justifies them. If now there's not very good odds of being audited, but there is a chance that you could be, and you want them properly documented by using a product like Deductor.
Okay, Rich, let me ask you a question. You mentioned earlier things like sole proprietor, S Corp. A lot of times when people, and I know we're recording, so there's some things we can't say, but a lot of times when people start businesses like this as such, because it may only be right now, it's $99. And because they only spend $99, really not understanding what they're getting involved in and why the money is not being made, starting from the mindset, right? Let's talk about how it's important to first and foremost have a name that has been found out if it's used or not. Because sometimes you come to find out you done built on it for 3 years, and it's like, what's your name? Not your domain name, but what's the name of your company? I think this is going to be so vital because a lot of times people ask, do I use my social security number, or when should I get an EIN number, things like that. Help us with that a little bit for those that's listening.
Okay, yes, great question, great question. Usually when people start out, they're a sole proprietor and they use their social security number. And it's important, like you said, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit, I'm sorry. But it's like you said, have a company name. You are a business, you are a company, okay? Is it required in order to get your tax deductions? No. You can do business as Kemp Satchel, the IRS doesn't care. It's for you. It's that mindset. Psychologically, I am a business. I have a business name and I'm operating like a business, okay? And as far as the sole proprietorships and using your own social security number, yeah, from a tax standpoint, that's fine. But anymore, there's so many problems with people getting your social security numbers in your name. I'm really worried about this tax season. If y'all have heard about the Equifax that got hacked, 250 million people's names. One thing you can do with that is file a fraudulent tax return in their name. That causes problems for you when you go try to file yours. So lots of times I will recommend that people maybe form what's called an LLC. Okay. Now, LLCs, that's the most misunderstood type of tax entity there is. It means nothing to the IRS, basically. Okay. As far as the IRS is concerned, you're either a sole proprietorship, a partnership, or a corporation. But two advantages of forming that LLC. One is now you have a federal ID number that you can use. Okay. The other thing is again, it's a mental thing. I'm more serious. I've got a business name. I'm set up as an LLC, and people will treat it more like a business than they will a hobby. Hobby is no good. Do not want to be a hobby. You want to be a true business.
This is so vital because I say, well, what's the name of your business? Vacation, Travaris Global. That's not the name of your business, right? So at the end of the day, now here's the next one. So many people are saying, okay, tax benefits are so good. A lot of people say, well, I would just do this because obviously we're a travel business. So you can now write off your travel and things of that nature and, your meals. And they're getting what I say half, I can't cuss, but I would normally just say half but information, right? So like, can you despise that? Just like get rid of this myth, and then at the end of the day, here's a question of what's the S corp, S corp versus a, corporation and all of that. You get into that too, but yeah, just kind of get like where people are just telling people because. Like you were mentioning, audited flags and things of that nature. So now they got in for the tax purposes. Round 2 to 3, they're still here and they're expecting, and then come to find out there's a complete difference that things are just not justifying. And that's what causes those types of things to start happening. Can you help us out there?
Yeah. A lot of my battle, lots of times, is that misinformation that's out there. It sounds really good, but it may not be 100% accurate. Now, it is accurate. Business, okay, if you're ever audited, there are a few things the IRS will look at. Okay, meals, travel, entertainment, mileage on your vehicle, they're going to be looked at. Okay, because that's the low-lying fruit for the IRS. People don't understand what they really can and can't do there. And more times than not, it's just not properly documented. Okay, so yeah, a lot of your travel can be business travel. Okay, maybe not 100% of it, and but if it's properly documented, it can be fully tax deductible. I do that a lot. I outside of tax season, I have big teams and network marketing companies have me come in and do trainings for them on taxes. That's all business. I get to deduct all of that. In the travel industry, you actually get to deduct more, maybe, than anybody else outside the travel industry, because you can take what's called FAM trips, familiarization trips. Okay, so if you're recommending that somebody go somewhere on a vacation, you may want to check out that motel or that resort to make sure it's something you'd like to send people to. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Beautiful.
that can be in it, but you got to make sure it's properly documented. You have to prove that you went there. The IRS has a term that they use, primary. Okay, your primary reason. Is your primary reason business or personal? And you got to prove that the primary purpose or the primary reason you did something was for business.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so it comes back to documentation. But if structured properly, that's one of the huge benefits of any home-based business, but especially in the travel business.
Mm, mm.
Um,
You said structured properly, and I keep hearing it, structured properly. Help us out.
okay, okay, sorry about that. So let me give you an example, my own example. Um, let's say I go to Fort Lauderdale, Florida,
Mhm.
and I do tax training, also financial literacy training.
Mhm.
Okay, so I will go and I'll do workshops on that. So for me, more than half of your travel time needs to be for business. So let me give you a scenario. Again, I live in a remote area in the Rocky Mountains.
Mhm.
The nearest airport is the Salt Lake City Airport, which is about a 4-hour drive. Okay, so let's say on a Wednesday I will drive to Salt Lake City to get my flight is Thursday morning. Well, I have children that live in the Salt Lake City area.
Mhm.
So I will leave here. I'll drive down to Salt Lake City. Of course, I'm going to spend the evening with my children. That's a business day because it was a travel day. I had to get to the airport.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, Thursday, I will fly to Fort Lauderdale, let's say. And that's another 4-hour flight. Yeah, it takes me longer to drive to the airport than to fly to the East Coast.
Mhm.
But that's a travel day. Now, Friday, I will, now I usually try to get there as early in the day as I can so we can spend the afternoon on the beach, get settled in the motel. My wife and I love the beach.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, Friday will be spent with clients getting ready for my event. But we might spend some time at the beach or whatever in the mornings. The afternoon, we'll be getting ready for the event.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, at the event, I give my people homework, either financial literacy homework or tax homework. Okay, we're going to get together again on Saturday. That requires me to be there for Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
So weekends and holidays count as business days if they're sandwiched between days that I have to be there.
Mhm.
Monday, I will again spend a good part of that day with my clients going over their homework, and I'll fly home.
Mhm.
So that's almost a week's worth of time. A lot of it's spent at the beach. That every day is a business day. So I say structured properly. By that I mean it takes a little bit of forethought on how you can get most of your days being for business, but generally you can do that.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm just flying out there to spend 3 days on the beach, I'm not meeting with any clients or doing anything, then my primary purpose is not business. It's sitting on the beach. But usually, in the travel industry, you guys, do you have any teammates or anybody that lives in Fort Lauderdale? You can go down there and maybe pick their brains. Legitimate business stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, it's all got to be legitimate. But generally, you can be creative and figure out ways to at least get a good portion of your travel, business for business reasons.
Mhm. Okay. So so let me ask you this question. When you went to the airport from your house for that 4 hours, were you able to deduct those mileages
Yes,
to the air?
yes, yes. Driving to the airport. The and I want to put a plug in here for the home office deduction.
Mhm.
A lot of people talk about the home office deduction. You can write off part of your rent, your utilities, your mortgage interest as business. Um, but a lot of even your tax gurus don't realize how important that is for your mileage.
Mhm.
Okay, but yes, driving from my home to the airport is, especially in my case, a couple hundred miles away,
Right,
is business miles.
right. Now, is that to and from when you come back home? Is that included or no?
Yes, yes. The thing to think of is when you're spending money, think of, will this money, whatever I'm buying, wherever I'm driving, will it benefit my business?
Mm-hmm.
If so, it's probably at least partially deductible.
Mm. So can I ask you this question? Okay, Coach, he drives, right, every morning to work. Okay, but he always has these cards that's talking about his business that he's driving and then he's delivering to different places before he gets to work. So even though he's driving to work, can he now deduct those miles from his house to his depot in order doing his for his business?
Okay, and there's actually where, as I'm doing audits for other people that I didn't prepare their tax returns for, there's a big misconception there.
Okay.
Go back to primary purpose.
Okay.
Okay, what is the primary purpose you had in driving to your business? Was it to hand out cards and promote your business, or was it because you'd get fired if you didn't show up for work?
Okay.
Okay, but that being said, those stops along the way, if any of them are out of the way, then those miles, those extra miles, would be totally legitimate business miles. If, okay, this is why the importance of that home office deduction. Okay, so everybody has commuting. Even if you're self-employed, you have to commute. Okay, I have an office in town that I drove to. Now, I work out of my home now, but for the early part of my career, I had an office in home. Even though I was self-employed, driving to that office was commuting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you're in the home-based business, your first stop for that day is your commute. Okay, so I want my first stop to be in my home. Some people walk to work. Their commute is a walk. I commute from my kitchen into my office. That's my commute.
Right.
Because my office qualifies as my primary, and on this, it has to be used exclusively for your business. The IRS takes that exclusive part really seriously. It can't be your dining room table, but I have an office that is, it's only used for business. Now those miles is when I leave my office. Okay, I've already done my commute by walking to work. So this is where it applies differently to everybody, kind of my disclaimer at the beginning of this. But yeah, try to get qualified for that home office deduction if at all possible.
Wow. What if you just literally started your business within the last couple of months? I'm not sure that was a question that was just asked, but as far as somebody like, let's just say let's say you started your business in November, okay? And here we have 1 month of from the money we spent to get started in our business to whatever, maybe 2 months that they took out our checks. How far back, and I'm thinking based on this question, can they start claiming things? Can they do something this year or no?
Yes, it goes from when you start your business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, obviously you can, if you're not in business, you can't take business deductions.
Right.
Okay, so it starts when you're in business. So if you start in December, you pay your fee, your $99. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you buy that on you start on December 28th. Okay, you were in business for the month of December.
Yes.
Okay, and of course, you got to start promoting your business and stuff like that when you're actually in business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of those things, I start using my computer for my business. Okay, well, even though you already owned your computer, you can still start writing it off in December.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything, a lot of people kind of forget about the stuff, their computer, their printer, all those things that they already own. They usually miss out on those deductions because they think it's only stuff that you buy after you start your business. Things like that you own when you start your business, you already had when you start your business, you start deducting when you start doing your business.
Mm.
So yeah, it can still be a big help. Even if you join in November or December, it can still be a big help tax-wise. There's a lot of deductions you can still pick up even for those couple of months.
Okay. Okay. All right. S corp. Help them understand S corp.
Okay. Now that's something that you're gonna have to talk to your individual tax person about. Okay.
Right.
But um, there's an LLC. You can actually be an LLC
Mm-hmm.
and file a paper with the IRS telling the IRS you want that LLC being taxed as an S corporation. Okay. But as you mature and grow in your business, you're making fairly decent money. You may want to be an S corporation. As a sole proprietorship, for example, there's what's called self-employment tax.
Mm.
Self-employment tax is really Social Security and Medicare for people who are self-employed. So, you don't have a W-2 employer withholding that from your paycheck, so you have to pay it. Okay, so you have to pay Social Security taxes, or that self-employment tax, on your efforts. Okay, so if I'm making $100,000 a year as a sole proprietor, I got to pay self-employment tax on that $100,000.
Mm.
If I'm an S corporation, S corporations don't retire. They don't draw Social Security. So I can form that S corporation. It can hire me as an employee, and I have to take a reasonable wage. But maybe a reasonable wage for what I'm doing is $60,000 a year instead of $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I'm paying Social Security on $60,000. I'm saving it on the other $40,000.
Wow.
Now that's oversimplifying things a little bit. That's a little bit more advanced. You got to talk to your tax advisor about your individual situation. And by the way, anybody on your team, I've kind of worked out with Coach, but anybody on your team, I will do a free initial consultation.
Wow.
Normally I charge $125 for that, but I'll review your last year's tax return, and then we can talk about your exact situation, what might be best for you.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Okay, so I just had, where did the 3 to 6 month back come from? Where the deductor, like even when people start here, the deductor goes as far as it's up to about 4 months back that they start putting those
Mhm.
calculations. And I think basically what you were saying, a lot of times before people actually start the business, you prepare to get in the business. So you got to use your computer. You got to use things. You're probably buying stuff for your home office and all of that stuff
Mhm.
before you actually. So if that's, I think that might be what they're talking about. Which is,
So I think what they're talking about is, again, two questions. The first question is yeah, you have what's called startup expenses. They're expenses that maybe you're researching what business you want to get into, so you start spending money even before you start your business.
mm-hmm,
Then, so like you said, you might start doing that in September,
mm-hmm,
and then you actually start your business in November. All those startup expenses are deductible from when you started researching which one you wanted to go to. Okay, so but the thing that I think they're getting at is when you set up deductor, they will automatically go back. It depends on your bank.
mm-hmm.
Some banks, they'll go back 90 days and they'll download all your transactions when you link it to the bank for the last 90 days. Okay, that's a convenience thing for deductor. I mean, that doesn't mean those 90 days are deductible if you wasn't in business those days.
Mm.
But and the reason for that is maybe you're in business all year. You could have been in business for the last 5 years and just start using deductor in the middle of a year. Well, you want to download all your transactions for that full year. So they're going to download backwards as far as they can. And sometimes you can even manually download further back than that. So somebody joining, maybe they were in another company before they joined Vacation that didn't provide deductor, and they were trying to keep track of their deductions by hand. We'll download deductor and go back to the first of the year, so you have all your transactions for the full year.
Mm. Okay, so that was more the convenience. Can you write off child support?
No. Okay, child, because you're not paying child support because of your business. Okay, but that being said, one of my favorite deductions is if you have children, especially under the age of 18, that you can hire in your business. That's a business deduction to you. It's got to be legitimate work that they're doing for you, but you get to deduct it. And for last year, the first over $6,000 was tax-free to them. Now you can pay them more than that. You can pay them $10,000. The first $6,000 would be tax-free. The other $4,000 would be taxed at their tax rate instead of yours. and they're probably paying less in taxes than what you are. But it's got to be legitimate work that they're doing for your business. And my kids are all, my youngest is in college now, but when they were younger, they could do circles around me as far as coming up with flyers and marketing things on the computer, and I paid them to do that. Another advantage of that I like even better than the tax deduction is I'm teaching them financial literacy. They're making their own money. They're learning the work ethics and learning how to manage their own money. I didn't buy their stuff for them anymore. They bought their own stuff out of what they were paying from me.
Wow. What if I never got set up as an LLC or anything? So you signed up with your Social Security, but I have still been doing stuff in the business. What do I need to do in order to file my deductions, or can I file anything?
Yes, you do not have, a lot of people will say you have to have an LLC to get your deductions. No, you have to be a business to do your deductions. And you can be a business without an LLC. LLC, that's a limited liability company. That is something that they're designed for liability protection. If somebody sues you, you don't want all of your personal assets being subject to that lawsuit for your business. So LLCs, you don't have to be an LLC. I recommend you have some sort of a business structure because it makes your business more real to you.
Mm-hmm.
You get deductions because you're in business, not because you're an LLC. And you're in business just by promoting your business and having those bills.
Are you spending that money? All right, here we go. Before I ask any more questions, a new tax law has just been passed that has really truly affected home-based businesses, which I know a lot of people are, you hear about all of this stuff and they listening to this, you don't know again, what's fake news, what's real news. Everybody seem to know what, but don't nobody know nothing. So from your understanding, your professionalism, can you help the community understand what has just taken place and how they can either take advantage, or is it being an advantage to the government, and how?
Yes. Now, again, a qualification on this, a disclaimer. When new laws like this come out, we take our understanding of them, our interpretation of them, and try to get that information out to our clients. But the IRS is doing the same thing. Congress comes out with a new law. The IRS is trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to interpret this new law? And then they eventually come out with what's called regulations or regs. So that being said, a couple differences. For the vast majority of my clients, they're going to owe less taxes. It's going to be beneficial to them. I do have a handful of clients that's probably going to go the other way and maybe not be as beneficial. The vast majority is going to be beneficial for a couple of reasons as it relates to business. Is for those that show a profit in their business, they'll be able to deduct 20% of that profit. And so by profit, I mean, let's say you got a 1099 from Vacation for $40,000. Now you may have spent $20,000 in deductions, mileage, all the different deductions. Your profit is the $20,000. You'll actually get a $4,000 deduction on top of all your regular deductions. So that's going to be huge to my clients, that's in any kind of home-based business. Now, if you show a loss, like we were talking before, if you made, $500, but you spent $10,000, okay, there is no profit there, so you won't get that deduction. The other deduction, I'm going to have to wait for the regs to come out on this, with the IRS's interpretation. I told you a minute ago that the first just over $6,000 of what you pay your children is tax-free to them, tax deductible to you, tax-free to them. Well, the new law did away that $6,000, that's their standard deduction. So even though you're claiming them as a dependent, they still get their standard deduction, and you get the personal exemption. The new tax law is doing away with that personal exemption, but the standard deduction is going to be $12,000. So my question is, can I pay them now up to $12,000 and have it be tax-free to them? I think that's something the IRS is going to have to address for these small businesses that are paying their children a wage. Now on the S corporations, I'm talking about paying the children a wage. That is not applicable to S corporations. Again, remember, the rules I'm giving you is sole proprietorships.
And I could tell by the way y'all got y'all looks on y'all face, y'all still don't know what the hell he talking about, right?
And Camp, that's typical. You
Uh,
know, I've been doing it for 30 years. I speak a different language, and I apologize for that.
mhm,
But that's why I do for your team. I'm offering that free initial consultation. Then I can sit down with them specifically what applies to them.
mhm. Yeah, this is so. The reason why I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, please do not be embarrassed by not knowing the information. But don't let it cost your household and your family so much staying that way. It's okay. I know when I would go to human resources and I would say, what's an exempt? What's a deduction? What's all of this stuff on the paper? You know what they would say, Rich? Do you have any kids? No. Put a zero on it and sign the paper. Don't know how they come up with the money they take from you. We don't know, understand none of it. And what happens in ignorance, you know what we do so most of the time? Okay, okay. And we just deal with it. And we let people continue to take advantage because we are too ashamed to just ask questions. Am I making sense? How do they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. The best way, especially this time of year, is let me give you my phone number. Okay, this is my direct phone number that comes to me, and that is 307 828 1184. Now that phone number also, you can also text that phone number. It works like a cell phone as far as it'll receive text. Um, Now this time of year, I'm pretty tough to get a hold of. I'm with clients a lot. I'm on the phone a lot. So text, the best way is if you can text me. I will text you back my email address, and that'll start the communication. We can schedule an appointment to actually visit with each other. And don't let the complications. That's why you need to go to somebody that's a home-based tax expert. Is the complications of the tax law.
Yes.
But and I don't expect all my clients to. I would like to educate my clients on some of the basics, but exactly how it works. You know, you can talk to the blue in the face, and I'm not going to understand how I can see you on my screen right now. That somehow these images goes through cyberspace and pops up on my computer. I don't understand that, but I can still enjoy using it. Okay, so let me take that hard part and the confusing part out. So again, that phone number 307 828 1184. You can also email me, Richard at homebusinesstaxservices.com. Again, that's Richard at homebusinesstaxservices.com.
Wow. Well, the reason why I have asked these questions and I have had Rich come on here today again, thank you, Dyers, for let me tell y'all, Dyers is the man when it comes to tax. He takes so much advantage of these taxes. He got his whole house done up and everything. Why? Because it's his office. And if you can get that and let the government help you get these type of things taken care of, guess what? But at the end of the day, I know many of you have asked the question, who's your tax advisor? Who do we go to? Things of that nature. Listen, this is tax season. So when you text him right now, right? Don't make your urgency his emergency, and don't get so anxiety. The anxiety going, oh, he didn't contact me back, or he didn't text me back, or whatever. It's 70 some people on this call right now. Okay, we all have people in our areas. Diamonds definitely have. If you got a diamond, get in touch with your diamond and find out who they're using as well, because they might be right there. The one thing about your taxes, you don't have to be in Rich backyard for him to do your taxes. Just like this little computer right now, you can stay in your house, keep your germs there, He can stay in his house and keep his germs there, and y'all can still have a conversation and get your taxes done without going through. Well, I want to go. No, no, no excuses here. We'll make it. We'll make it work. I guarantee you. He has a lot of, I mean, great referrals that I know of that have. He's done their taxes. You know, some of the professionals he's had the opportunity to work with that you watch some of their videos, Von Mueller, things like that. These are people that are very credible, and we feel very comfortable having him on our platform. And at the end of the day, I know it's 12 o'clock and y'all never want to stay here anyway because I'll be on y'all time. But I thought this information is a start. He just scratched the surface. But it's very little you can do when it comes down to his credibility and his license and his business. So he don't want to say something that now you want to go and call one of your prepaid legal attorneys, talk about, well, he told me to do this and now I got to owe this, and no, we ain't saying none of that stuff. Again, y'all know how I am when it comes down to awareness. It's just to bring the awareness. Now, what you do with it, he's giving you the information. It takes patience in this business, right? We have some people here that are actually from St. Vincent's and the Grenada and things like that, out of the country. How do you handle those types of things? Like, what are there any benefits to that at all? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, a lot of those the ones that are territories, they'll follow the similar tax laws to the United States. My focus is right now in the United States.
Okay.
And that being said, I've had a network marketing company approach me about finding my counterparts in other countries, to where basically I can interview them and try to evaluate. People don't want to send somebody you don't want to refer to somebody that's going to get your referrals in trouble or not doing a good job. And so this company's come to me and they've asked me to look for people that are good quality home-based business tax people in the different countries. Again, man, it's tough to keep on top of the U.S. tax law. It's ever changing. Not only the tax law changes, but the way the IRS interprets the tax laws.
And that could get real edgy and stuff like that. But again, it ain't to fear you. Just understand that, because the information is documented, and as long as we understand it, you can't get feared by it. We only get feared by it because we don't understand nothing. And now we call them the alphabet boys, and they scared the living heck out of you because they lock a lot of folks up, and we just see they don't show the other good stuff. They just show everybody getting locked up, and everybody's scared. Let me do this and let me do this, and don't even worry about it. But guess what? Dyers, first and foremost, your recommendation, and I know you've been you just got your whole house done, just about remodeled and everything. If y'all remember Coach Dyers, when he got started with us, he was about $40,000 in debt. I think maybe Rich might have helped him there sometime too. So somebody helped him at the end. I don't know. But Dyers, I'm opening the floor to you, sir. Is something you want to share?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to thank Richard as well. I thought I knew some things, but talking to Rich make me feel vulnerable. And then I'm glad to have him as my CPA. I recommend him highly. And I thank you also as well, Kemp, because when I first came in, I was truly hood to the hood, you know. I thank you for your guidance, man, and and I thank God for what how He has directed my lifestyle as well. And I also thank Vacation because I applied myself to the knowledge that Kemp had helped me with to help me get that debt out. Because see, you never know when life is going to show up at your front door. In the same way we apply ourselves to go work for someone else every day, we need to apply ourselves to work for ourselves as well. So this right here has really helped me and my wife a lot. And yes, we did pay off the debt and we furnished out. We got our whole house from top to bottom fixed up, and I got my boxing shed out there working good now. So I'm training the young ladies and everything, and I'm just happy to be somewhere right now. So like I say, thank you, Rich, man. You the man, and I mean, I just recommend you guys to give him a call. You know, free consultation. You can't beat that. And once you get there, you can be hooked. You know, so.
Because at the end of the day, it really helps. The information actually helps to show you how much money you're losing. I can promise you that. And then you'll want that at the end of the day. That's the key to the information. We're always worrying about what it costs, but man, if you realize what it's costing you, you would have been got with Richard and somebody at the end of the day. So any last words for the community, Rich? And again, his phone number 307-828-1184. And 1184, Richard at homebasedbusinesstaxservices.com, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Anything you want to say?
No more parting words. Other than, get a hold of me. We can go over your individual taxes. I so much appreciate the opportunity to be here and all of your people to hang in there for so long today. I know it's a sacrifice on a Saturday to do that, but it's really important to your business and the success of your business.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, sir, for taking out time of your schedule, because I know you always somewhere on what y'all just heard him say, beaches.
No, business.
Got to write something off. Might as well go to the beach and do a business meeting. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Thanks again, Rich. Listen to me. What we're going to do for the rest of the promotion, we're going to be doing webinars all the way up until I will give you the actual schedule. Today, we're going to start this evening at 9 o'clock. We have the actual brand new PowerPoint. If there are anybody, or if there is anybody that wants it in Spanish, I now have the actual documentation. The PowerPoint in Spanish is done too. Obviously, I can't do it. But if y'all want, I can, word like, it'll look like I'm talking Spanish. Just read the words that's on the screen. No, just saying. But we actually have the Spanish copy for you. So I will be doing these blitzes for the next Sunday. You're going to hear me every 2 hours. Like Lynn is not here. I got the whole studio to myself. So we going to work. And this is the final for the actual $99 promotion. And y'all just heard about what Rich said. Listen, everybody need to be doing this for the $99. That's an investment. Okay. Number two, at the end of the day, Cancun is sold out. It's sold out literally in about 24 hours. So if you have not booked, oh well. Listen, for like, I was pretty amazed myself, to be honest. To be honest with you, I've never seen it happen that fast, but it happened. They may be able to get some more rooms and properties on there, but the last one we actually had 2,200 people in Cancun. So that's why Traveris Global is making such a statement right now, and it's a lot going on. So we want to take advantage of that. I'm going to be right here to serve you. Don't forget our morning classes for the personal development, and I guarantee you, if you need me, you can always contact me as well. We're getting ready for this major thing that I just heard about that is really going to blow y'all away. I'm just going to tell you right now that y'all think I'm playing. It is not a game. So we are so thankful for this company. We're thankful for David Manning and what all sacrifices he's making for things to happen for us. And we have to remember that. Let's be grateful, because our bosses didn't give us this opportunity, but our CEO is giving us the opportunity to create a legacy for not only us, but our family and our children's children in the midst of all that is actually about happening. For all the brand new partners that we have in our community. Let's give a round of applause and a big shout out to all of them. And I'm just going to open up and everybody say welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Glad to have you
Come
with
on,
us.
y'all can say better than that. Welcome.
Glad you're here.
Wow. When y'all see me, y'all welcome me like that, I swear, oh my God. No, I'm just playing. But at the end of the day, welcome. Thank you very much. On the platform, y'all see when people are joining, please comment, leave a welcome, say something. Don't have people walking in. Let me tell y'all something. The more grateful you are about people, the less hateful you can be. Listen to what I just said. The more grateful you are, the less hateful you can be, because they can't share the same space. So if we're just constantly being grateful, we have no room for hatefulness, all right? And that's what our community is all about. That's what we want to do, and that's how we want to serve the people. We're not here to help you. We are here to serve you. That's the best, because notice when we ask you to help you, you don't want our help. But we're here to serve you. You'll come in and you may even give me a tip one day and say, go to sleep or something. I'm just saying. But again, Richard, man, I can't say thank you enough. The community can't say thank you. I'm going to open up the gateways and let's say thank you to Richard for his presence on today. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank
you, Rich. Good information. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Right
All
on.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Before he leaves, because I know a number of mute.
Happened last time too.
I said mute. All right. So I know we had, I think it was no questions that I had signaled on. Early bird, 2020. Okay, so at the end of the day, there might have been a question, but he gave y'all his number. Give him a call, ask him the question that you wanted to ask, and get it taken care of. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Don't forget, we'll be starting at 9 o'clock with our live webinars. I will actually have a scheduled up in the platform for you all, and thank you. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Take care.